Good morning. So this morning we're a little bit warmer, a little bit less icy, a little bit more rainy. So we're gonna go take the car and go do some rounds, go do some errands. We got to go to the harbor where we have a boat that we've had for quite a long time and that I haven't seen since we've pulled it out of the water beginning of the winter here in Europe. So I'm a little bit concerned about it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get to it due to the iciness and the snow on the roads. Now, however, we're going to attempt to go get it and bring it home, clean it up because it doesn't have a cover. Unfortunately, we're still working on things like that. Another thing for you guys that have subscribed, we really appreciate it. We hope you go with us in this journey as we progress in this channel and make things better and do different types of content. If you have a suggestion, please put it down in the comments, like and subscribe. If you haven't already, it really helps us out. We're really trying to build this further and hopefully we can take you guys along to more of our adventures. Let's go. It works. It's an old trick I learned from the original guy who installed our electric or motorized gate in South Africa years ago. When I say years, it probably mean like, what would it be, 15, 18 years ago. And if you don't get good reception on your remote, oddly enough, don't ask me why, if you put it against your head and push the button, it actually works. Tested and proven. And there she is. Let's go see what type of condition and state she's in. Yes, I said she. Whoo! It's brisk with the wind. Here she is. So haven't seen this old girl since the beginning of the winter pretty much, and as you can see, it doesn't have a cover on it. I mainly use this boat to help others on the water, to basically go tow and help those in need that break down during the summer season of boating here. And yeah, this is my little, or our little family getaway boat when we want to go out with the kids onto the water, and as I say, when I have clients or people that don't have any other option, then we go out and we go rescue them, so per se. Hence the orange light on the back, and we've got a good couple of goodies on here. Let's have a look how she is doing. Oh, let's have a look. look, I don't even know if it still has power. Yeah, that's not a lot of power. I don't even know if you can see that, but 6 volt out of the 12, so that's pretty much dead. Pretty much dead. She's got 6 out of the 12 volts, so and not looking very good for the batteries. So let's see what we can do, if we can save them, rejuvenate them, and here goes nothing. So after looking at what the problem is, I think the best thing is for us to do to put a charger on or take the boat home and clean it up before we do any more damage during the winter, if it gets cold again or the rain, and take it from there, see what's the best thing we can do. So we're gonna strap it down, and I think it's better for me to take the boat home, and then well, we can go through it at our own time. We don't have to drive up and down to the harbour, and I can have a look at everything, go through the systems, check if the batteries are okay, keep them on charge while keeping a look at it instead of having it on charge here at the harbour, and we can go at it step at a time. I'll take you guys through everything. If you have questions, things you want to know, things that if you have your own boat and you have questions mechanically or electronically, post them down in the comments, and I'll try my best to get to each and every single one of you. For those of you that haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Subscribing is free, but it helps us a long way into building this channel, and so we can help more people and take you guys along for the journey. Let's go. Cold at the harbour. It's I thought it would be a little bit warmer, but man, it's there's still snow lying here and ice. Now I've got to in some way find out what have I done with, oh, here we go, there it is, that's what I was looking for, the backboard for the trailer, so we can actually tow it home legally. what I found. Yeah, it's a South African flag from when we used it on sale. There's one on there as well, but from sale 2025. Right, so now that we've got the boat at home, we've figured out a couple of things on the way home. The reason why we had an issue towing it is because it had been standing quite a while, a couple of months, and the brakes had frozen. So we'll have to, at some stage, jack up the trailer to go through the brake system again, just to double check that it didn't rip any of the drum pads off. So with connecting a charger, it's the boats are usually a 12-volt system. I prefer to use the Victron Blue Smart chargers. These chargers, you can leave it actually connected for longer amounts of time, and it will regulate itself and keep the battery in check. So seeing that this is a 12-volt boat, we're going to use a 12-volt charger, so always check that you have the right one. You get two different ones, a 12 and a 24-volt. The bigger ones are obviously for bigger capacity batteries, but we only need this one. These ones seem to be a little bit more durable and can handle more batteries at once. This one has got terminals for 3 different batteries, but 2 should be sufficient. Right, so in the boat, I can see one of the battery boxes is full of water, which isn't great. Let's just trim this motor down a tad bit, so it doesn't keep falling on us. There we go, that's better. Now we've got space. So it seems like the only dead one is going to be the accessory motor or battery. So what that means, I've got the 2 batteries that are connected. I've got them split with a relay in between, so that when the motor runs and it does charge, it charges both batteries. Now in doing that, the bilge pump for the boat is connected to the auxiliary battery, so it doesn't, whatever happens, you'll always be able to start the boat. The advantage for me of that is that I can now still trim the motor up and down. However, it seems that the auxiliary battery was giving the power to the rest of the boat, that's down to 6 volts. So, and strangely enough, that's not the one that's frozen, it's the other one. So the battery for the motor seems to be frozen, or at least all the water in the water box has got is frozen in there, and the auxiliary battery, which is low, is dry. Go figure. So we'll have to see and figure out why that's happening. Who don't know, red goes on to positive, black goes on to negative. Silly, I know, but it happens. We bought this boat with the idea that we want to help people. There's quite a couple of boaters, new boaters out there that don't know how a boat works, and there's people that break down and don't know how to get themselves out of the situation, or they just want to be helped and just have a service done, which is fine. I've been doing mechanical for the last 15 years or so as a hobby. I enjoy it, and it's just one way that I can keep myself busy and at the same time help someone who doesn't know or doesn't want to do it. That's fine as well. Then we'll see if we can help them out. So it's been a bit of a project boat. I think this year is going to be the year that we actually focus on getting it better prepped and ready, hence why I've already got it out of storage, so to speak. And so I can attend to the things that need to attend to, like the floor that we hastily stuck on. I want to replace. I'll show you what that looks like just now. So we want to replace that, give it a good clean, and then I want to take some measurements to see if we can finally get a proper tarp for this. So there's a couple of things that we want to do to make it better. We put in way too thick cables. I think we put 16 gauge cable for positive and negative in here through the same pipe, which is proving to be way too big. I will double check on the exact millimeter of those. It's 25 millimeter positive and negative cables, so which is quite a lot. Oh, the bilge pump just kicked on. I disconnected the battery, so it might not be dead after all. It might still be salvageable. So let's see how this goes, what happens, and yeah, we'll be back shortly. There you can see the ice on the battery. That's the motor battery, and that's the other one, auxiliary. So the bilge pump's running off the auxiliary, which just powered back up. And I see there's quite a bit of water in the boat, so let's get that all to drain out first. The other nice thing about the Victron Blue Smart charger is that it's got Bluetooth, so you can actually download the Victron app, the Victron Connect app, and you can actually connect it to the battery or to the charger, and it'll give you a complete it'll tell you exactly what it's currently doing to that battery, what the amperages are, what it's currently doing. You can get a graph readout of where exactly it is. You can get a history of what's been going on the charger. So this charger we used on different occasions, so it's been doing different activities. Not the best thing, but it's fine. I see we've also got an update available, so we'll do an update and then we'll set it to high and recondition to charge it, seeing that the battery was completely dead. But we'll unfortunately first update the charger technology. So as you can see, this the chairs I removed before the start of the winter and put them inside, but as you can see, the floor, yeah, it needs a bit of attention. It's lifting on that corner, so this was put in very hastily. It was a bit of a test piece and we didn't really prepare it well, so that's my own doing. The front piece, however, is faring much better, even though it's very dirty, but that's fine. We don't have to do anything to the front. And again, now you can see this is the console. I'd love to be able to at a certain stage replace this, the Garmin EcoMap 52D. I'd love to get the Raymarine 3D Vision, not just because it's a nicer screen and a bigger screen and newer, but also because of the 3D scan. We sometimes help people that have lost their prop, and in doing that we then can scan the bottom floor to see if we can retrieve the prop. Yes, you don't have to. Yes, it's a nice to have, not a need, but for the person that you try to help, if you can find that prop, it saves them a considerable amount of money that they need to spend to buy a new prop. It's not a cheap game. Buying a boat, owning a boat, big or small, it involves costs. And so, you know, if we can help people to do that, to enjoy it more and have less worry or come to solutions, that's what we're about. Come up with a solution, make it easier for them. So in sitting and thinking and having a look, we've got the two batteries, as you saw. We've got the 70-litre tank, fuel tank on board. And I think what's going to be best is if we try and get a tarp to cover the boat, so we can put a heater in here so everything can dry. Slowly but surely, we can have a look at everything, go through all the different systems, replace what we need to replace, and that will mainly be wiring. I'm still, now that this has happened with the batteries almost freezing, I'm still considering whether I should move the batteries into the console or leave them where they are. Although I haven't had any issues as to where they are. It just makes things a slight bit easier and moves the boat weight slightly more to the center of the boat instead of everything at the back. Not that it's got a problem. This will do 70 kilometers per hour over the water any day, which it does comfortably. It responds very easily in the water, so actually I shouldn't really touch anything, but I'd like to clean it up. It's dirty. It just needs a good going through and actually finish it to a way that we're happy to work with it and that we can make changes to how we do things and make it easier to help people. The other thing we want to do is we want to have 2 connection points on the back railings to be able to plug in jumper cables so we can jump start another boat. That's happened quite a couple of times in this past year that we've had to help. So currently, you have to open everything and get jumper cables, and it's much easier if we just have ports, so we don't need to open anything or get to our own batteries. We just have a port set on the side. The other thing that I'm considering, or that I'm trying to find, is a bigger arch for on the back. And when I say arch, I'll show you by this steel arch that we've got here that is a little bit small for my liking and for the size of the boat. It's just as high as the console when the boat lies in the water, and I think I'd like something a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. We have used it a couple of times to actually attach and tow boats from. And when I say tow boats, it's just small dinghy boats that don't weigh much, but the bigger one would be more preferable. So let's climb onto Facebook and see what we can find. So after giving it a little bit more thought, I think the best thing is going to be to find a tarp that we can pull over the top and just close it in, put a small heater on the inside so everything can heat up and dry out before we start ripping into it and pulling everything apart. Theoretically or technically, everything works, so there isn't anything we have to do. It's just neatening up and making it better, so we don't run into the issues of last year. For example, the floor coming up, that's a bit of a tripping hazard, so we want to take care of that before we even consider going into the water. So yeah, I think we're gonna leave this project standing here for the next day so the batteries can slowly charge up, and then what we'll do is we'll start warming everything up, pull a tarp over, put a heater in, warm it up, dry it up, and then go through all the cabling.